good day. You're welcome back. So today we are going to look at this image you are seeing on the screen. It is called an infographic. So an infographic is just a kind of a flyer that contains image and text and probably charts to explain a certain topic or to give information about categories of things. So when you look at this is segmented into 5 sections. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So designing this, when you first look at it, you have like 4 or 5 things that you might probably see as what needs to be designed. Here are the objects that make up of this design. So when you look at it, we have this rectangle that I touch. So you have circle that has been segmented into 5. So you have a shadow here. You have another circle after the shadow. You now have another circle. Then the text and the charts. So categorically we can say charts and the text are one, the circle here, the other circle, the shadow, and the large circle. So to start our design, we're going to start with the biggest circle. So come to the tool and select the ellipse tool, hold down shift while drawing. So exit, the largest circle is being drawn. So the next thing is to segment this thing into 5. But before we do that, I would like us to cut this circle so that it has a hole in it. So what do? Control D to duplicate, then select the top one by clicking on it, then hold down shift and alt to adjust proportionally. So just adjust inward, so it's okay like this. So we're going to give this a stroke to differentiate the two. So we have the inner one, or let's give the outer one, the inner one another color so that you can see it very clearly. So this is what we have. So now we're going to perform a binary operation on this to make it have a hole so that we can see through the biggest circle. So as selected the two, then we're going to we're going to exclude this to give a hole. So we've excluded it and we have this hole. So this is what we have. Now that we have this, it's very okay, because when you double click on this, you can actually double click and move out this inner circle and you see how it's moving. So that's not what we want. So I will undo it by pressing Ctrl Z. Then the proper thing to do is to just flatten this image so that it will be converted to a complete image, not that two images are now being together. So I'm going to flatten them by coming to this place or press Ctrl E. So this image has been flattened. If I double click again, so there's no how this object will be, two objects will be separated. So the next thing to do is to cut it into segments. So I'm going to draw a rectangle to a rectangle object like this using the rectangle tool. So I think this is okay like this. So I'm going to we have this, so we're going to rotate it. So this is the rotation. The next thing is create another one of these. So we can simply Control D so that we have double there. So we'll move the other one, then Shift H to mirror it horizontally. So we have this segment like this. So the next thing is to create other segment. Instead of Control D, I'll just select and drag this by holding while holding my Alt key. So doing that to create another a copy of this object, and I can rotate it to fit what I want. So I'm going to hold down my Alt again and copy. So rotate, place it like this. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit, move this up a little bit. So there we go. We're going to create another one here, rotate this and bring it down here. So I think okay, let's adjust this. So we're going to rotate this so that we have a perfect something. So I think this is okay like this. So the next thing to do is in order to create these holes, in order to cut it through, we're going to select all the objects together with the circle, then come back to binary operation here and click on subtract, so that the back one will be the front one will be subtracted from the back one. So it will create a hole just like what we have here. So here is it. So this is what we have. So but doing the subtraction, when you double click again, you see that these objects can be moved, which is not supposed to be. So let me undo that by pressing Ctrl Z, then select everything together, come back to flatten, or press Ctrl E to flatten the image, so that you have a single object. Now this has been created. So the next thing to do is how do we give them different color? This is very possible and very simple. What you do now is like you create more of this object, which is going to be 5 of it. I'm sorry, 4 of it to make this 5. So to do that, we're going to press Ctrl D 4 times. Ctrl D 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that is 4 times. If you look at this, we will be having 5 objects. Let me select this. Okay, we just have 3. We're going to create 2 more. Ctrl D, that, then Ctrl D. So we now have 5 of it. When you come to the layer here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 of it. Now to do this, now we're going to be giving them different color so that we know what we're doing. So the first one, this is the first one. The first one will be selected. The first one will be at the top to be selected. So press I from the keyboard to select the color, then give it this color. So the color has been selected for it. Now what we do now is to double click, delete all other nodes. Double click to bring out the node, delete all other nodes, and remain the top one, which is this. So the top one has been created. You have other images that are created or that are duplicated behind it. So we're going to like select this one also, click I on the keyboard, give this. So when you look at number 1 and number 2 and number 4, they're having the same color. We can actually give them the same color or continue editing. But since they're having the same color, I think it will be very okay for us to just crop those that are not belonging to the color out. So what do we do? Select all the nodes, unwanted nodes from the circle. So unwanted nodes, select them and delete them. So we have this. So this has been created. The next one is to create this and this. So we can actually like press I on the keyboard, give the color, then double click on it, delete the nodes that are not useful. Nodes that are useful are these nodes started from here up like this. So we're going to select all the nodes with this, so delete. So we now have this. So we're going to like move this thing out. The other rest circles that are not useful, we're going to delete them. We don't need them anymore. So this has been created. We can actually group them by pressing Ctrl G to group them together, so that when we move one, others will move together with it. So we're going to remove this stroke, the outline stroke, by clicking on the minus sign on the stroke here on the property. So it has been deleted. So what remains now is the 2 circles inside. So we're going to create 2 circles inside. So come to select the circle, do the circle outside here. So just bring it atop this. So you might look at this that it has been aligned to center, but it's not aligned center. To make it align center, just select the 2 together, come to alignment property here, align horizontal center, and align vertical center. So it will make the 2 objects selected aligned vertically and both horizontally. So what we do now, we're going to reduce the circle. So to reduce the circle, hold down Shift and Alt so that it will be reduced proportionally. So I think we're okay like this. So the next thing to do is to give it the proper color. When you look at this color, we have a darker color at the top here, and we have the lighter color at down here. So to do that, we're going to come to this color, choose the linear. So by choosing linear, you have this color, make this a darker color like this, and come to this place, make it a white color, 100% opacity. So this is going to like, it's okay like this. So we've created the outer circle, but when you look at this, this should be the inner circle. So the inner circle, we're going to rotate this, because when you look at this at the top here, that's where we have the lighter color. So when you look here, the down here, we have the darker color. So we're going to flip this vertically, shift V to flip vertical. So we have this. So what remains now is the inner circle, which is the outer one. So to do that, we're going to Control D. So we have to circle. Let me move this out. You can see we have to circle. I will undo that too by pressing Ctrl Z. So now we're going to reduce the size of this circle so that we have a small circle, whereby the back circle, we'll be seeing the circle behind. So I'll hold down my Shift and Alt again and draw inward. So the outer circle is shown. So you can see we have the outer circle. So to actually have it like a button, so we're going to flip the outer circle by pressing Shift V. So by pressing Shift V, it will vertically flip the circle, and you can see the circle is formed like as if it's a button actually. So that is it. Now when I look at the outer circle is having a kind of shadow that makes the segmented circle looks like a hole that contains the two circles. So we're going to give it an effect. The outer circle, we're going to give it an effect, and the effect is going to be, just click on this plus on the effect to give the shadow. So we're going to edit shadow 0 and give this split a 0. So we're going to spread the shadow and also blur the shadow. So I think 16, 15, spread is okay at 12, and blur at 16. So we can actually increase the opacity of the shadow. So I think we're good to go. Like the opacity is okay. So everything is done. So we're going to group this. It's very good to be grouping objects. So I'll group this by pressing Ctrl G. Ctrl G will group every object. So when I move this, everything moves together. Now the next thing is to write out all these numbers. So I'm going to pick up the text tool and write. We have 0, 1. So 0, 1, and the color is white. We're going to like increase the font to 24, and we're going to make it a bold 1. So this is 1. So we're going to create other numbers by pressing Shift and drag in numbers, drop, pick again while holding Alt. So I think we're good to go. So this is 0, 2, and this is 0, 3, 0, 4, and this is 0, 5. This is okay like this. So we have this text inside infographics. So for infographic, and when you look at the color of infographic is the color of the segment of number 5 and number 3. We're just going to press I on the keyboard and select the color. So let's make our own color more lighter, so that's okay. I think it's okay like this, more darker. So we have text here which is lorem. So you can actually write, okay, let's look at the weight of this word infographic. The weight is too bold. We're going to reduce to medium. I think it's okay like this. We're good to go now. The next thing is this lorem. Lorem is a kind of text. So we have it as a plugin in Figma. If you've never installed it, you can install. I will show you how to, and in my next video I'll show you how to install plugin in Figma. So we're going to generate the lorem here. I've already installed the lorem plugin in on my Figma, so I'll just come to it and search for it. So here we have lorem ipsum. So I'm going to click it, and the lorem plugin is going to be loaded, which is this. Say generate 5 sentences, auto generate. I'll auto generate this. Oh sorry, the font we have here is very big, so we're going to reduce like 8. So 8, and we are going to regenerate the lorem. So you can actually search for a plugin or anything on the Figma environment by pressing Ctrl / from where will bring out a search, and you can search any object on your environment. So I'm going to search for lorem. So this lorem is more at the top. I'm going to select it. So auto generate these words for me, and it's very nice. So I'm just going to like select the text and give it the color, the proper color that was given. So this outer circle, we're actually going to like edit the color. This color is too dark, we're going to make it lighter. It's okay like this. We're good to go. So the lorem is spawn is being something like that. It's okay. So what remains is this 3 bars. We're going to select the rectangle tool, draw the bars. So here is one of them. Just bring it down, give it the proper color, which is this. So, and when you look at these edges, the edges are, the corners are round. So just come to this place. This is a corner radius. Let's give it like something like 5, for example. The heck is okay like this. 5 is okay. So we're going to reduce the height of this. So I'm going to hold down my Shift and Alt to create a like of this bar in a straight line. So in a straight line, the second one is this, and this is third one. So the gap between them is too much here. I'm going to reduce it. So I'm going to reduce this one. So I'm selecting the 3 together. I want to align them vertically. I want them to be vertically aligned, then distribute the space between them so that they have the same space between them. So I'm going to reduce the size of this, increase this a little bit, and this more. So I'm going to select the 3. The corner radius is too much. I'm going to give it like 2. I think it's okay like this. So I'm going to group the 3 by pressing Ctrl G, then place it according to what we have here. I think this space is small. Let me increase a little bit. Okay like this. So what remains now is the background, which we're going just to use a kind of rectangle. So let's group everything we have here. I'm pressing Ctrl G. Now we're going to give this a color. So the color we're going to give it is going to be a radial color. So when you look at this, which is having a radial here, so this is going to be complete gray, which is this, and this is going to be a lighter something, very light, yes, something like this, I think. So this not too dark, so that is okay. So let's make this pink. Yes, and this pink. Here we go. This is okay. So we're going to select this together, horizontally align and vertically align. So the image you first created is at the back, so we have to bring it to the front or send the one in front to the back. Just click on it and press the right square bracket on the keyboard to send it to the back, and here you have everything like this. Now if you wish to share this with your friends, you can actually export everything. Just select everything, come to export, nothing to be expected. We have 2 layers. We're going to like export 2 layers. We just need just one thing. Just select everything and press Ctrl Alt G to convert it to a frame. Ctrl Alt G, or you can actually right click on them and group frame selection, which is Ctrl Alt G, frame selection will convert it to frame. And you can say this is infographic. Infographic. So by doing so, just select it. You can actually can actually move it around now as a frame. So export, click on plus on the export, so you have just one object as JPG, then export infographics, ask you to save. So we're going to save this. It has been saved as infographics. So if you go to your download, just search infographics, the name which you use to create it. Here we go. Here is it. So this is the picture. You can actually share this with your friend now, or with anyone that needs that asks you to design for them. Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of this. By the grace of God, I'm going to share you this file so that if you need, or you can go online, download many other files and design them as you like. Thank you very much. This will end our today's lesson on UI UX using Figma.